This is exactly the kind of decisive clarity the New York Yankees have been craving. We've just received a pivotal update regarding Aaron Judge's elbow injury, an update that previously sent shockwaves through the fan base, sparking fears of the dreaded Tommy John surgery. But now, with the full extent of the situation officially disclosed, we can begin to chart the road ahead, not just for this season, but for the Yankees' long-term vision and postseason ambitions. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and as always, we're bringing you right to the center of the storm with real-time updates and razor-sharp analysis. And hey, if you're part of that 75% watching but not yet subscribed, lock in now. Hit that button and stay connected to the pulse of the Bronx. Let's break it down. Aaron Judge had recently encountered an elbow issue that significantly impaired his throwing ability, igniting a frenzy of speculation. Many feared the worst. Another star potentially facing the same harrowing path as Garrett Cole, Clark Schmidt, or most recently Jasson Domínguez, who lost nearly a year of action to Tommy John surgery. Given Judge's monumental presence as the face of the franchise and the fact that he's in the prime of his career, the ramifications were potentially devastating. But Yankees insider Jack Curry delivered a collective exhale to the entire fan base. The official diagnosis: a flexor strain, not a torn UCL. That critical distinction may have just saved the season. While Judge will head to the injured list, his ulnar collateral ligament remains intact, meaning Tommy John has been averted. According to ESPN Yankees reporter Jorge Castillo, manager Aaron Boone confirmed that the team expects Judge to return within 10 days, initially serving as the designated hitter. The hope? Once his throwing program ramps up, he'll resume his natural role in the outfield. In a twist of nostalgia, Boone even hinted at the possibility of Giancarlo Stanton filling in defensively, something we haven't seen since, well, probably the Revolutionary War era. Now, while this isn't the scenario anyone hoped for, there's a silver lining. It's far less severe than originally feared. And in the meantime, the Yankees have a golden opportunity to evaluate the true depth of their outfield core. Take Trent Grisham, for instance. A defensive wizard and pending free agent, Grisham could be auditioning for a new contract, either in the Bronx or elsewhere. His glove remains elite, and his recent uptick at the plate has scouts watching closely. Then there's Cody Bellinger. With an opt-out clause looming and a red-hot bat, Bellinger could hit the open market this offseason in search of a multi-year payday. If he keeps producing, the Yankees may have a tough decision to make. And don't forget about Jasson Domínguez, once the crown jewel of the Yankees farm system. While his rookie campaign hasn't been an instant breakout, he's quietly stringing together a solid year. An OPS plus of 104 suggests he's above league average, and his .253 batting average, .734 OPS, and speed on the bases have made him a meaningful contributor. Though naturally a center fielder, Domínguez has adapted to left field with Bellinger and Grisham occupying center and right. As Judge recovers, expect Bellinger to slide into right field and Domínguez to remain in left, ensuring positional continuity. Bellinger's adaptability continues to make him a quintessential plug-and-play asset, even offering coverage at first base when necessary. In summary, while Judge's injury is undeniably a setback, it is far from catastrophic. This moment presents a crucible for the Yankees' resilience, depth, and adaptability, testing the readiness of players eager to seize the spotlight and etch their names into the fabric of Yankee history. This is a seismic jolt to the Yankees' momentum and postseason aspirations. Timeline check. In the most optimistic projection, Aaron Judge could return as a designated hitter within 10 days, with a targeted return to right field in roughly 20, positioning his full comeback for mid-August. It's an ambitious timeline, perhaps even bordering on hopeful fantasy, but it keeps belief alive, both in the clubhouse and among the faithful in the Bronx. In the meantime, Aaron Boone has reportedly approached Giancarlo Stanton about stepping into outfield duties. A rare spectacle considering Stanton hasn't patrolled the grass since what feels like the Revolutionary era. Expect to see Cody Bellinger, Trent Grisham, and Jason Domínguez shoulder the burden in the outfield rotation. But let's be honest, no one replicates Judge's presence. He's not just elite, he's gravity. Slashing .342/.449 /.711 with a 1.160 OPS and a staggering 218 OPS plus, Judge isn't merely the Yankees' best player, he's the axis around which the entire offensive universe spins. With Spencer Jones sidelined due to back spasms and unavailable for a call-up, all eyes now shift to Everson Pereira and Brian De La Cruz, both already on the 40-man roster. Pereira, in particular, is heating up in AAA, slashing .256 with a .516 slugging percentage over 300 plate appearances. His bat could offer a crucial surge during Judge's temporary absence. Bottom line, no surgery, no ligament tear, no long-term damage, for now. That in itself is a massive relief. Update 2. Yankees blasted in Philly. Is the season slipping away? As if the Judge injury bombshell wasn't enough of a gut punch, the Yankees followed it up with a demoralizing 9-4 collapse against the Philadelphia Phillies, marking their third straight defeat. Let's not sugarcoat this, it was flat, lifeless, and utterly unacceptable. Marcus Stroman, fresh off his best performance of the season, couldn't even survive into the fourth inning. He unraveled, issuing 4 walks in a single frame, including a bases-loaded free pass to Philly's 9th hitter, Johan Rojas. Combine that with 5 hits, and you get 9 base runners and just 11 outs. That's the stuff of nightmares. And then came the soul crusher. Bryce Harper obliterated a moonshot that may still be orbiting the upper Bronx skyline. The bullpen wasn't much better. Yerry De Los Santos, Jonathan Loaisiga, and Alan Winans all poured gasoline on the fire, highlighted by a catastrophic 4-run 7th inning that resembled a slow-motion train derailment. The offense? Flatlined. While Anthony Volpe and Jazz Chisholm Jr. notched a couple of hits, and Domínguez drove in an early RBI, the lineup never found its rhythm. The lone burst of life came from Giancarlo Stanton, who clobbered his 436th career home run, surpassing Carlos Beltran for 47th all-time. A proud moment, yes, but a lone spark in an otherwise dark night. Facing the storm without Judge, but not without hope. Let's be clear, you don't replace Aaron Judge. You endure his absence and hope the supporting cast catches fire. Judge has been obliterating baseballs this season. 37 homers, a .342 average, a .711 slugging percentage, and a 1.160 OPS. That's not just excellence, it's historic dominance. Jeff Passan weighed in on the injury, explaining that the flexor mass, a muscle group in the forearm, acts as a shock absorber for the UCL, the very ligament associated with Tommy John surgeries. While flexor strains can precede serious injuries, in most cases, rest and therapy are enough to facilitate full recovery. So, what does 10 days on the IL really signify? 2 things. The Yankees cannot contend without Aaron Judge. They need a tactical, risk-managed strategy to maximize his bat while safeguarding his elbow. Enter the Bryce Harper model. When Harper dealt with a similar issue, the Phillies preserved his offensive firepower by using him exclusively as a designated hitter. He avoided surgery, missed just 30 games, and returned with impact. That's the blueprint. Strategic reintegration. Unleash the bat. Delay the glove. protect the elbow. The Stanton surprise. Nobody anticipated Giancarlo Stanton stepping back into outfield action this season. And yet, here we are. To the surprise of many, Stanton is quietly crafting a resurgence. Batting .270 with 6 homers, 24 hits and 80 at-bats, an .862 OPS, and a .138 OPS plus. His WAR as a DH sits at 0.7. Nothing jaw-dropping, but undeniably trending upward. While he's not the MVP caliber juggernaut of years past, his offensive revival is both timely and valuable. That said, should the Yankees force Stanton into outfield duties? Probably not. The current outfield trio, Cody Bellinger, Trent Grisham, and Jason Domínguez, offers both glove work and offensive upside. Domínguez and Grisham have proven to be reliable at the top of the order, and Bellinger, who is egregiously snubbed from All-Star consideration, has been a revelation. Wondering how the Yankees are going to claw their way out of yet another perplexing skid, and then, boom, the bombshell drops. Aaron Judge has been sidelined once again. Time momentarily freezes, and Yankees fans plunge into that all-too-familiar emotional spiral. Disbelief, frustration, denial, and a flicker of hope. But this time, it hits deeper. It stings sharper. Because this isn't just another injury, it feels like a premonition. A glaring red flag flapping in the face of a season already teetering on the brink. What's up, Pinstripe Nation? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is one of those gut punch episodes we hate to make, but have to confront. Aaron Judge is back on the injured list. And while the Yankees PR machine is doing its best to minimize the concern, some of baseball's most trusted voices aren't buying the optimism. We're talking about Jeff Passan, ESPN insider and acclaimed author of The Arm, a foremost authority on pitching injuries, and his warning was anything but comforting. So go ahead and smash that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Because we're about to dive headfirst into a situation that could shape the destiny of this franchise. Let's get into it. The official update: Judge has sustained a flexor strain and has been placed on the injured list. The Yankees medical team insists the outlook is encouraging, maybe 10 days give or take. Nothing catastrophic. But as any seasoned baseball follower knows, the sport has a brutal way of rewriting the script. Enter Jeff Passan. This isn't just a reporter with a take. This is a guy who's chronicled the epidemic of arm injuries in the modern MLB. And his assessment: a flexor strain may sound like a minor hiccup, but it often serves as the opening act in a more tragic storyline. Ligament stress, or worse, a complete UCL tear, the kind that demands Tommy John surgery. And that's when the panic sets in, because we've seen this film before. It starts with minor discomfort, morphs into monitoring, then suddenly out for the season. And we're not talking about just any player. This is Aaron Judge, the MVP, the face of the organization, the heartbeat of the Yankees, the captain who doesn't just anchor the lineup, he embodies the identity of this team. Before we go further, let's clarify what a flexor strain actually is. The flexor muscle group bridges the forearm and the elbow. It's foundational to nearly every baseball motion: hitting, throwing, even gripping. When strained, it could be a temporary nuisance, or a canary in the coal mine. Many times it signals impending ligament damage, a sign the arm has been pushed to its breaking point. And that's what has Passan sounding the alarm. The Yankees hope this is just a 10-day timeout, but is that realistic? Flexor strains frequently linger for weeks, even months. Worse, they often foreshadow deeper structural issues. What appears minor might be merely the tip of the iceberg. And when it comes to Judge, every missed at-bat carries weight. Every absence shifts the trajectory of this already precarious season. Let's not sugarcoat it. And this offense wasn't lighting the world on fire even when Judge was healthy. The at-bats were streaky. The reliance on the long ball was extreme. Manufacturing runs, practically non-existent. Now remove Judge? That's not a slump, it's a system crash. Yankees fans know Judge is more than a stat line. At 32, locked in through 2031, with generational impact both on and off the field, he's not just a player, he's the pillar. When he's rolling, the entire team hums. When he's absent, it all feels off-kilter. The Yankees stop resembling a well-constructed machine and start looking like a patchwork operation scrambling to stay afloat. And that ripple effect spreads fast. Game plans shift, morale dips, opponents smell vulnerability, and most critically, the front office changes its mindset. The trade deadline calculus becomes less about reinforcement and more about emergency triage, surviving without the soul of the team. Behind the scenes, the rumor mill is already churning. The Yankees are said to be scanning the market for affordable reinforcements. Players who won't mortgage the future, who won't cost blue-chip prospects, but who can provide a semblance of stability. The problem? Everyone knows the Yankees are desperate. That inflates prices. Fast. Let's not forget what Judge was doing before the injury. Even in a turbulent team environment, his numbers remained elite. Home runs, OBP, game-changing power. His very presence altered opposing pitchers' entire approach. With him in the box, pitchers hesitate. Without him, they attack relentlessly. That shift alone can change outcomes, but the impact goes beyond metrics. Judge isn't just a superstar, he's a leader, a presence. Even injured, he's on the bench, rallying the troops, mentoring the younger guys, anchoring the atmosphere. Thank you guys, see you tomorrow.